Welcome to Be Less Stupid. I'm the host, John Hotchkiss. On today's show, there is a battle going on for America's soul and future. The Republicans have brought a nuclear bomb, and the Democrats have half-price Kale from Trader Joe's. But first, if you enjoy my work and this program, could you take a moment, please, and subscribe to my YouTube channel? And also, please share this video. My wife says if I reach 50,000 subscribers by Christmas, I don't have to clean up after my dogs until March 2019. So let's go, people. I'm counting on you. All right, thank you. We need to talk about elections. If we Democrats want to win America's soul, future, and upcoming elections, we have to reevaluate the detrimental effect having a conscience, principles, and morals has on our pre- and post-election political strategy. Let me explain. Liberals are hardwired to have empathy, nuanced thought, and to feel shame. For example, we're against Nazis, but we support their right to free speech. The GOP is different. For one thing, since 2016, they're for Nazis. Plus, they don't understand nuance, and they're missing the gene for humiliation, embarrassment, and hypocrisy. They look at Charlottesville and think that a couple of kids with camo shorts and bandanas that they bought at the Army-Navy surplus store with their parents' credit card are the moral equivalent to the KKK. These same people are strict constitutionalists when it comes to guns and the Second Amendment, but they're okay with abandoning citizenships guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. No shame, no gene for hypocrisy. You see, the GOP plays dirty. George Bush's campaign told some voters that John McCain had an illegitimate black baby. Mitch McConnell stole a seat on the Supreme Court when he refused to hold hearings for Merrick Garland. This year, GOP operatives ran a whisper campaign in which they said that ICE agents would be patrolling voting places to discourage Latino turnout. Not the Democrats, though. We just don't do that. The worst thing that I saw a Democratic politician do before the 2018 midterm is switch a guy's regular coffee for Folgers Crystals. In 2016, during a debate, I saw one Democrat running for Congress get tepid under the collar. And that is a problem. Being nice, having a conscience, not fighting dirty, hurts Democrats and prevents us from implementing democratic ideas like affordable health care, no more so than during elections. Let's start with gerrymandering. The GOP is happy to surreptitiously or even overtly to ridiculously divide up election districts, and more specifically, African American communities, to either concentrate their power in just one area or suppress their power by spreading it out. That's why you get voting districts that look like something Picasso puked up during a peyote fever dream. As the midterms approached, Republicans had a dozen schemes to suppress voter turnout in Democratic strongholds, reducing the number of polling places, moving polling places further and further away from population centers. And in one particular Democratic stronghold in Georgia, Brian Kemp moved a polling place into a Piggly Wiggly that doubled as the headquarters for the God Hates Fags people. It's Republicans, like in Florida, who accuse polling officials of committing fraud without any evidence at all. Voter fraud, it's a mantra as ubiquitous as "Make America Great" and just as meaningless. That is because an exhaustive study by a Loyola law professor found that between 2000 and 2014, there were just 31 reported instances of in-person voter fraud. And yet this week, Trump tells the Daily Caller that Democratic voters are going out to their cars, putting on wigs and on disguises to vote twice. But the GOP loves to fearmonger too. Before the election, Trump tweeted more about the caravan invasion than the Democratic witch hunt. Since Election Day, he's treated the story like his tax returns and refuses to discuss it. The worst thing that I saw a Democrat do before the election to suppress Republican voter turnout was pay for their lunch at Chick-fil-A with a two-party out-of-state check. It's the GOP who propose an end to early voting. They want everyone to vote on the same day, a day when people have to go to work, thus discouraging working-class people who tend to vote Democratic. It was the GOP who made racist robocalls to voters in Georgia and in Florida. And that is not all. It is time that Democrats fight back. Politicians and legislators at both the state and federal level need to pass laws that keep polls open longer, that open more polling places, that improve ballot counting, that make it easier to vote, not harder. And yes, those are some good ideas, but we have to do more to get Democrats to the polls on election day. We should put voting booths inside the Whole Foods. That way, Democrats can vote and pick up Kale at the same time. Instead of an I voted sticker, everyone who votes gets a free Sarah McLachlan DVD. Now that would suppress Republican turnout. What if instead of making people come out to vote, we bring the voting booth to them? Only we put it inside a bus that looks like a mobile abortion clinic. That'll drive down Republican turnout too. You know what people love? Those giant inflatable dudes that flutter in the wind outside a car dealership. Put one, hell, put 3 of those in front of every polling place. What if, instead of old ladies, the people who run the polling place are recent asylum seekers from Honduras? It's a polling place, right? Let's put in polls. And if there's going to be polls, there should also be strippers. And finally, look, it already sounds like it. Let's just make it official and change the name to Erection Day. Think about all of the men, older men probably more specifically, who would come out to vote. And so would women, especially the ones on Twitter or who buy Cosmo, who are always complaining about all the unsatisfying sex that they're having. All right, that is it for this episode of Be Less Stupid. Again, I would like to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, share this video, and to please tell your friends. Thank you very much. I am your host, John Hotchkiss.